for our next project, you're going to learn how to make this really simple little like child's peg toy, and a little bit about how assemblies work and how to make parts move in the assembly. So I'm going to start back on my main Onshape page and click create a new document, and I'm going to call it peg toy. So we're going to be creating 4 parts and then assembling them all together into one. Alright, so I'm going to start with creating a new sketch, and I'm going to do it on the front plane. So I'm going to click front, and then I'm going to click front on my view cube to rotate, and I'm going to draw that green base section. So with a rectangle, I'm going to just draw out a long rectangle. So the long measurement is going to be 12, and going the vertical way is going to be 3. And then from here, there's always different ways on how you can extrude things and cut stuff out. We're going to kind of make that profile shape of that green piece. So I'm going to use my corner rectangle again and click on that bottom line and draw out another smaller rectangle on the inside. And I want to delete this middle part of the line. So I'm going to click the trim and just click that little section. So now I have this kind of like sideways C shape. So we need to get some other dimensions in here so that it's sized correctly. So I'm going to grab my dimension tool, and the distance on this little leg here, this is going to be 1, and then same on the other side. And then same up here. So from that bottom to the top, this is going to be 1. There we go. So I'm going to finish the sketch, and now I'm going to extrude it to make it 3D. So I'm going to click that sketch surface, and if I rotate around, I can see that it's becoming 3D. And I'm going to make it 5 inches, or if you're in millimeters, you'll just be in 5 millimeters. Really tiny, but that's okay. 5 deep. So there is the start of our base of our toy. So next we need to make those holes in the top for those circle, triangle, and square to go into. So I'm going to do a new sketch and click the top of this base. And then I'm going to rotate and click top. Alright, so we're going to start with drawing a circle. So I'm just going to use the center point circle and just kind of click on here to draw a circle. So I clicked once to place it, and then I'm going to click again to set the size, and this is going to be 2. And then let's dimension it from the edges. So I'm going to grab my dimension tool, and from the center point of the circle to the edge is going to be 2.5, and same to the other edge, 2.5. Alright, so we're going to do the square on the other side. So again, I'm going to grab my corner rectangle, click once to place it, click twice again to do the other corner, and this is going to be 2 by 2. And then from the edges, we're going to do 1.5. So next we need to add in our triangle in the middle. So you could use the line tool and draw up a triangle and try and get it all equal, but there's actually this polygon tool. So if we click that, and I'm going to do it right off of the center of my circle because that'll save me a measurement later, and kind of in the middle between the 2 shapes. I'm going to click once to place the center, and now when I move my mouse, I get the 6-sided shape. So to make sure my triangle is positioned correctly, I'm going to move my mouse directly below that first dot where you see like how I have the dotted lines there to lock in that bottom of my shape. And I'm going to click once, And now I have that little number that pops up. I can move my mouse now and get different size polygons. So I want 3. And you could also just type in 3, but moving the mouse is pretty easily. So once I'm at 3, I'm going to click again. And there is my triangle. So now we need to dimension it. So we're going to grab our dimension tool. And this bottom line, we're going to make 2.5. And then from our circle to our triangle, we're going to click the middle of the circle in the middle of the triangle dot, and we're going to set this to 3. And then that should be pretty equal already into the middle because this center dot we did off of our center of our circle, and that is set to 2.5. So if we try to dimension it right now and like change it, it's going to yell at us because it already thinks that we dimensioned it. So I'm just going to undo that. So there is our triangle. So you should have these 3 shapes generally in these spots and those sizes all lined up, and we're going to extrude them away. So if you are going to extrude something that's in a sketch that you're working on, you don't have to close the sketch by clicking the green check mark. You can just click extrude, and because we were working with these 3 shapes, it automatically selected those as things to extrude. So instead of adding material, we're going to remove, and it should cut all the way through. If it doesn't, you can, instead of blind, change through all, and it just cuts through anything in its way. And there is our base. So I'm going to make this green. So how to change colors in here, if I right click on part 1, I can edit the appearance, and I'm just going to do green again. You can choose any colors you want. And there's our base. So next, you'll learn how to make those 3 little pegs inside of this shape.